Happening now, rumors of litter boxes in bathrooms at local schools are sweeping social media and why this falsity is harmful. And this January will mark 107 Pennsylvania farm shows. We take a look at this year's theme and what it represents. Plus, a new skate park opened in Jamestown over the weekend in what locals are calling a unique endeavor to transform an old industrial site.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Bronson Rasmussen, in for Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, schools all across the country a similar rumor that they are implementing a litter box for students who identify as furries. Our Alyssa Wright reports on why this misinformation is harmful.
WNY News Now spoke to a self-identifying furry on this matter, and they explained why this rumor is not only damaging to the furry community, but also to other groups.
Furry community always has been a huge target just because of the misconceptions and how people see them. So they're taking something that's already a huge target, and now you're putting them in the same category as transgender people, which is not fair.
Shetland, also known as Vincent the Cat, believes that these rumors were spread as a way to target and alienate transgender students.
I hope it's fake. Let me just start with that. It doesn't sound like anything a legitimate furry would do. I mean, I've had conversations with this with some of my furry friends and laughed at that concept just because it's stupid. I mean, any stable furry is going to know the difference between reality and their characters. So I definitely think that it's some kind of mockery on the whole bathroom situation.
The argument of transgender students using the bathrooms they identify with has been a long-time fight, and Shetland believes that these rumors are not helping the situation.
By grouping them together, people are going to see that and think, oh yeah, these transgender people are being stupid for thinking they can use the litter box bathroom.
By spreading rumors like this, there is a potential that people could be in actual danger.
It's definitely very dangerous, but there are shootings at furry conventions and, literal attacks on people.
The community urges those curious to find facts for themselves before spreading the misinformation.
Do your research, first of all. Don't hate somebody before you speak to them and understand why. I think there's a lot of assumptions.
Reporting from Jamestown, New York, Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
Alyssa, thank you. We have reached out to local schools on this matter, and as of right now, there's no plan on implementing litter boxes into the school systems. A Jamestown man was arrested Sunday afternoon after allegedly recklessly driving while intoxicated in the town of Bustye. Officers with the Lakewood Bustye Police Department were dispatched in search for a gray Chevy Cruze that reportedly was driving in a reckless manner. Police determined that the vehicle left a roadway traveling along a ditch before coming back onto the road. While off-road, the vehicle had nearly hit a tree and telephone pole. The vehicle did, however, jump a pile of logs and sheared off a signpost. Witnesses state that the vehicle did not stop and just kept going, despite leaving behind several car parts, along with the front license plate. Assisted by the Jamestown Police Department, officers found the operator, Stephen Stills Jr., at his Jamestown address, still behind the wheel. After undergoing a field sobriety test, it was determined that Stills was operating the vehicle while intoxicated. Stills was then taken into custody for driving while intoxicated, operating a mobile device while driving, leaving the scene of a property damage accident, and many more charges. Stills will appear in the town of Bustye Court on a later date. The Jamestown Police Department is looking for assistance in identifying a vehicle involved in a theft of an elementary school traffic cone. JPD released a video showing a white SUV stopping in front of Lincoln Elementary School, and an individual then got out of the passenger side of the vehicle and took one of the school's unique traffic cones. The suspect then returned to the vehicle and left the area. The traffic cone itself has a silhouette of Abraham Lincoln on it, along with the name of the school in big letters. Officers say that the cone is meant for traffic control in the school district, with the sole purpose of keeping children safe. Anyone with any information on the vehicle or persons involved, or on the whereabouts of the traffic cone, is urged to contact the Jamestown Police Department at 716-483-7537 or the anonymous tip line at 716-483-8477. A Jamestown man was arrested last Friday after being caught with a large amount of drugs, money, and scales. The Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office, narcotics investigators, the Jamestown Metro Drug Task Force, Jamestown Police Department, SWAT team, and the Jamestown Police Department executed a search warrant on a room at the Clarion Point Hotel in the town of Ellicott. Police had discovered 37-year-old Jamestown resident Bart Bartlett inside the room, alongside over 70 grams of methamphetamine, 15.8 grams of fentanyl, scales, packing materials, and $663 US. Bartlett was charged with criminal possession of a controlled substance in the second and third degree, and criminally using drug paraphernalia in the second degree. Bartlett was then transported to Chautauqua County Jail. And today is not the only day that Justin is off. We also have Dakota off today, so we're here with Andrew, of all people. What a show is this, Andrew?
I think this is the first time. You got you doing the news, me doing the weather. I think this is the first time at WNY News Now, and probably won't be the last time. I guess we'll find out as the week goes on.
Ooh, who knows? Although I did feel pretty cold this morning, Andrew. What's going on out there?
Cold, and I think they just turned the heat. When I came in, it was chilly in here. Now I think they just turned the heat on in the building. So I guess it is that time of year when the heat starts to come on. Let's start off with a live look over Mayville out there. Partly cloudy skies out there with a slight breeze. It's going to be a nice day across the region over the next few days. First defense Doppler radar, nothing happening over there. Step off here. There are some clouds off to the east, but we'll see a few clouds today, but nothing happening. No rain to report of over the next few days. The almanac for yesterday, 56 degrees was the high. The low was 46 degrees. That's about 10 degrees below the average of 66 with a average low of 44, and the record was 87 degrees set back in 1927, so we had nowhere near close to those high temperatures. So for the rest of the afternoon out there, partly the mostly sunny skies out there. A nice fall day. Temperatures in the mid-50s at the hilltops to lower 60s at the lower elevations. And we will stay nice the next few days, but it will cool down as we head into the weekend, and it's really going to get chilly as we head into
All right, Andrew. As WNY News Now continues, the Bills are back. How they rallied to beat the Baltimore Ravens and come back from their loss against the Miami Dolphins. And later, a look at the 2023 PA Farm Show and what this year's theme is and what it represents coming up. Stay with us as WNY News Now will be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Looking for a fair and honest auto mechanic? Look no further than DeWyas Auto Service. Located at 140 Main Street in Randolph, our family-owned business is ready for all of your automotive needs. From general service to more complex repairs, count on DeWyas Auto to keep you on the road. We not only keep your cars running smoothly, but also looking great with our expert detailing crew. Send us a message on Facebook or call us today at 716-358-2292 to set up an appointment. DeWyas Auto Service. Fair, honest, and the best prices guaranteed.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Bills fans, be happy. The Buffalo Bills star quarterback Josh Allen rallied the team to beat the Baltimore Ravens 23-20 on Sunday. With the score tied at 20 in the final quarter, the Ravens had second down from the Buffalo 1-yard line. 2 straight runs failed to reach the end zone from there. Allen calmly guided the Bills into the field goal range, capping his team's comeback from a 20-3 deficit late in the second quarter. Tyler Bass kicked a 21-yard field goal on the game's final play, with Buffalo coming back from a 17-point deficit to secure the win. Next week, Buffalo plays the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday in Orchard Park. That game is at 2 o'clock on CBS. The New York State Department of Labor is officially moving forward to lower the overtime pay threshold for farmers. From now until 2032, policy will lower the current 60-hour threshold for overtime pay to 40 hours per week. The decision saw a lot of pushback from local farmers and representatives who say this will hurt family farms in the area. To help offset the oncoming cost increases for farmers, Governor Kathy Hochul and the state legislature increased the investment tax credit from 4% to 20% for farm businesses. Furthermore, the Farm Workforce Retention Tax Credit was increased to $1,200 per employee, and a new refundable overtime tax credit was established for overtime hours paid by farm employees. 3 U.S. postal workers have been arrested in a $1.3 million fraud and identified theft scheme. The Justice Department accuses that the postal employees and a civilian accomplice of stealing credit cards in the mail. According to the DOJ, the credit cards were then used at a variety of high-end retail stores in New York and New Jersey. The DOJ says 5 other individuals involved in the fraud and identity theft scheme still remain at large. Charges involved carry lengthy prison sentences if the defendants are found guilty. January 7th, 2023 will mark the beginning of the 107th Pennsylvania Farm Show. Each year, a theme for the show is determined to symbolize the important contributions of Pennsylvania's vast agricultural history. Brendan Scanlon tells us more about this year's theme.
The annual Pennsylvania Farm Show, held each January, may still be months away, but preparation efforts start well in advance.
Planning started before the last farm show ended. Lots of feedback on where we can improve, what we could change.
A major component of preparing is deciding the theme of the show.
I'm pleased to announce that the 2023 Pennsylvania Farm Show theme is Rooted in Progress.
Agriculture Secretary Russell Redding says this year's theme, Rooted in Progress, represents the deep roots of Pennsylvania's agriculture industry and the progress it's made in recent years.
And what the world has experienced, with COVID and Ukraine and interruption and disruption, but all the while, the food system has continued to deliver. It hasn't disappointed us. I think that's progress. And to have all of that rooted around the work that we do and be celebrated as part of an industry in the state is really a good feeling, and we want to put that on display.
Even though the 2023 PA Farm Show is more than 100 days away, Redding and Farm Show officials say there are several new things to keep in mind ahead of this year's theme, Rooted in Progress.
We have no doubt that they're not going to disappoint this year with what you're going to see when you get there.
Attendees can expect a wide variety of new exhibits, animals, and even goat yoga. However, unlike previous years, cash parking will not be an option.
We too at Farm Show are going cashless with our parking this year. The parking fee for Farm Show will remain at $15, but we need you to bring your Visa or MasterCard.
Officials say cashless parking will create a streamlined process for staff and the thousands of attendees expected to make the trip. In Harrisburg, Brendan Scanlon reporting.
Brendan, thank you. The 2023 Farm Show will run from January 7th through January 14th at the Farm Show Complex in Harrisburg, PA. Coming up, we take a look at how Florida is reeling following the destruction Hurricane Ian left behind. And later, the Supreme Court is back in session as I welcome a new justice, history in the making. But first, we return with a look at our full weather forecast when WNY News Now returns.
When severe weather breaks, one team has you covered, tracking the storms as they happen. Daily on WNY News Now.
Walking from Jamestown to Orchard Park is a long trek, but when rallying for a good cause, anything is possible. I'm Patrick Smeraldo, and I need your help to get there. Starting on November 11th, I'm walking over 60 miles to the Buffalo Bills Stadium, raising money for two great causes: Harrison's Playmakers and foster care in Chautauqua County. Harrison's Playmakers is a non-profit launched by former Buffalo Bills defensive tackle Harrison Phillips to connect kids with disabilities in sports. Furthermore, donations for this 3-day hike will also benefit CASA of Chautauqua County and the Stone family, who are assisting local foster care children during National Adoption Month. Learn more about my journey and to donate at ccsolutions716.com.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights.
Vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over. When you need help,
It's our job
To help you.
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Let's take a look at the current conditions downtown Jamestown. We are under partly cloudy skies. It is 51 degrees with a northeast wind at 8 miles per hour. That's going to give us a little wind chill out there with a wind chill of 48 degrees. Let's take a look at the low temperatures because it was a chilly start to the morning, chilly start to the day today. Olean and Clymer bottomed out 29 degrees, 30 degrees in Randolph, 32 in Fredonia, 34 in Dunkirk, and the Jamestown Airport saw a low this morning of 39 degrees. So it was really a chilly start to the morning. Let's take a look what's going on across the northeast. We have high pressure that's, come on. There we go. We have high pressure that's keeping all this rain down here, rain and clouds down to our southeast. That high pressure is going to stay across the region over the next few days, providing us with partly cloudy skies now through basically early Thursday before a cold front moves through the area. Let's time it out over the next 48 hours. Now we will have a few clouds this afternoon. Future Look is trying to paint a few showers across the southeastern portions of the area this afternoon. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the day is going to stay mainly dry. Tonight will be mainly dry, maybe some patchy fog inland areas. Partly cloudy skies as we head into tomorrow. And I'm just going to let this roll on through Tuesday and into early Wednesday because we're just just going to have partly to mostly sunny skies the next few days, and we're going to have warming temperatures over the next few days. I wanted to give everyone a little reminder that started on October 1st, Jamestown went with their alternate parking. That means October 1st through April 1st, you park on the odd side of the road on odd days, even side on even days, and that changes over at 10 a.m. Make sure you change over by 10 a.m. because you don't want to risk getting yourself a parking ticket. For tonight, partly cloudy to mostly clear skies. Patchy fog is possible inland from lakes. We'll go low around 32 degrees in the deepest valleys to mid-40s across the lakeshore. Next 7 days brought to you by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. There it is, partly cloudy skies today. Tomorrow, Wednesday, warming up. Tomorrow will be in the low 60s. Wednesday will push close to 70. We'll go for a high of 68 degrees. Clouds will increase on Thursday as a cold front is going to move through Thursday night into the Friday. And you see what that cold front does. We cool it off, and we might not make it out of 40s Friday and Saturday with rain showers possible, and it might just get cold enough Friday night into Saturday. If we have enough moisture, the highest hilltops might see a little mix of rain and snow possible, but we will dry it out as we head into Sunday, Bronson.
Snow? What is this, Andrew?
It's that time of year.
Well, going with your headline. Communities across Florida are attempting the unimaginable job of cleaning up and rebuilding 5 days after Hurricane Ian hit the state. For some, that includes just trying to get basic infrastructure rebuilt and restored. So far, at least 76 people were killed in Florida, and at least 4 others died in North Carolina. Ivan Rodriguez is in hard-hit Fort Myers Beach with the latest.
The situation on the ground is filled with challenges. We're still seeing shortages in water, gas, and electricity. We're also hearing from both survivors and victims. As search and rescue efforts continue, more deaths are being reported. Days after Hurricane Ian ripped a deadly path through Florida, residents are left with the daunting task of picking up the pieces that are left behind.
We don't know our future because we don't know, can we rebuild?
But where and how do they start? Some communities still don't even have the basics like power or running water. Not to mention many local stores and businesses where they could have purchased supplies or hired services have also been damaged or destroyed.
That's a concrete floating dock, which is on the other side of our house. I don't know how it's going to get off of there.
And then there are those who face additional cleanup challenges. Their homes cut off when bridges were washed away in the storm or roads were swamped.
They're stuck on islands, either man-made islands that have been there for some time that are surrounded by water, but more importantly, those are areas that weren't islands before, and now they are surrounded by water.
Search and rescue efforts are ongoing. The governor's office says more than 1,600 people have been rescued since last week, and it will take months, if not years, for these hard-hit communities to rebuild.
People need to take care of their emotional and mental health because we're really going to need to work together on this.
Governor DeSantis is standing by decisions from Lee County officials whose evacuation orders came a day after those from nearby counties. For many who survived the storm, the road to recovery will be long. In Fort Myers Beach, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson made history on the U.S. Supreme Court after being sworn in Friday in more ways than one. Seen here with fellow female justices, Jackson is more than just the first black woman on the High Court. Of the 115 justices in the history of the Supreme Court, 108 have been white men, only 3 have been people of color, and only 5 have been female. Before Jackson was sworn in, she said it was quite an incredible milestone for her.
I too am on a path in which there have been and will be highs and lows. In reaching this incredible milestone, I have already benefited from great good fortune, and as I undertake the role of an Associate Justice, there is no doubt that I will have my share of pure bad luck. I will have promoters and I will have detractors. But with your support and God's grace, Through it all, I will keep moving.
While it may be the most controversial court in years, it also sets the record for the most women on the bench at one time. Check the cheese in your fridge. If the marker is Old Europe cheese, you might just have to throw it out. You're looking for the Brie and Camembert cheeses. The company issued a voluntary recall because of potential contamination, which can cause serious and sometimes deadly infections. The contamination was found in the facility, but not in the cheese itself. Luckily, there haven't been reports of anyone getting sick from eating this company's cheese. The recall list is pretty long, with lots of different brands, but you can find out everything you need to know on the FDA's website. Next, a new skate park opened in Jamestown over the weekend, and what locals are calling a unique endeavor to transform an old industrial site.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day.
Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help.
When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
Walking from Jamestown to Orchard Park is a long trek, but when rallying for a good cause, anything is possible. Starting on November 11th, I'm walking over 60 miles to the Buffalo Bills Stadium, raising money for two great causes, Harrison's Playmakers and foster care in Chautauqua County. Learn more about my journey and to donate at ccsolutions716.com.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
A new public skate park is now open in the city of Jamestown, with locals coming together over the weekend to celebrate the grand opening. Our Justin Gould reports on what locals are calling a unique endeavor to transform an old industrial site.
3, drop.
Local youth christened the JTNY Powerhouse Skate Park on Saturday. Brainchild of Jamestown Skate Products owner Pete Shira, fundraising began over 12 years ago when he pitched the idea to then Mayor Sam Teresi.
First question he asked is, where would you put it? And I said, well, probably that ideally would be right down by the 6th Street Bridge where that old trolley building used to be. And he says, wow, that's really funny because just earlier we were discussing in a meeting what could we do with that space. And right there is when I knew that the time was right and we were going to get a new park.
Bricks from the Gilded Age streets in Jamestown and the locally invented Crescent Wrench were incorporated into the park's design.
This was the former powerhouse and garage of the Jamestown Trolley Network, a location that sat abandoned and unused for decades. This is truly an amazing feat to take and reuse elements and foundations of the old powerhouse building, as well as many of the things that have made Jamestown great.
The skate park project, formerly known as the Tony Hawk Foundation, helped bring the $1 million idea to life.
After school, it's just packed every day, and that's what we see. We told the city, to take the fence down right when the concrete's done because people will be hopping the fence and coming in here. And what do you know? Right when the concrete got done, they're calling us saying, "Hey, people are climbing the fence to get in here." And that's, you don't see that with a soccer field or a baseball field, right?
In Jamestown, New York, Justin Gould, WNY News Now.
All right, Justin, thank you. Do you skate, Andrew?
I do not skate, and I wouldn't even want to attempt to try to even skate.
I feel like both of us are both so accident prone that it wouldn't end up well for either of us.
Nope, probably not. I would just probably like put my foot on a skate and flat on my face I go.
Well, for those that are going down there, is it going to be nice enough for them to continue skating?
At least for the next few days, it's going to be nice, sunny weather right on through Wednesday, but we will bring in that rain late Thursday into Friday, and I think the days of higher 70s and 80 degrees are long gone until next year.
Come on.
What, you don't want snow? Snow's coming soon.
Well, somebody had asked us during the show if it's still motorcycle weather.
Rain showers Saturday, but Sunday is looking pretty dry, although cool.
Well, that's good enough for me, at least for now. We'll leave you with this live look over Chautauqua Lake.